Ladies and gentlemen, today, God Chase's very own, the spitter,
Is that
the
one
rapper,
of his names? The spitter?
the lyricist, the minister.
It's a lot to live up to.
CStriaght is in the building, brother. It's an honor to have you in the building with us, man.
Y'all pray for me, man. That intro is
He dusted himself off like, yo,
pressure, man.
I was not expecting an intro like this.
the pressure, but I appreciate it. What's up?
Yo, we almost got Warren Buffett to announce you, bro. Like,
Bro, he
coming
can give me
in.
a check. And, look, announce me to the bank, brother.
For the main event.
Brother, it's an honor to have you with us, man.
Yes, sir. I'm glad to be here, man. Yeah.
This is our first time interacting, engaging with each other before you just calling in about maybe like 10, 15 minutes ago, which already, man, it felt like, isn't it dope? Like when you have like that Kindle spirit. Even, yeah, there you go. What do you say?
You said Kindle.
Oh, I said Kindle.
Hey, you don't want to. That's
like,
a whole nother meeting.
Pause moment.
That's a pause.
Is that? Oh man.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, my bad.
I thought you was
man.
That kindred spirit. All right, not the Kindle, not the Kindle version. Leave the Kindle version over there. All right, that kindred spirit, that like-mindedness.
Sure.
I already knew right off the top, bro. Like, I have brothers around, so in my circle, like, when it comes to Christian hip hop and creativity, not so much, I guess, the things that matter most in maturity at times. I guess you would say I'm most driven in the creative space. You know what I mean? Right. So for me, it's I face those challenges in a unique way, man. I went through most of my life hating my 9-to-5s, you know, like completely, like just like, why can't I rap? You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, why can't
my life, meaning back then till today?
Why can't I podcast even up until now, dude? Like last year, yeah, exactly.
So 5 minutes ago,
it was like 5 minutes. Why can't I? You know,
exactly.
Waving my fist at the Lord. But as I dug into the little bit of information that I can find about you,
oh man, here we go,
brother, I saw a whole decade of you missing in the as far as like. I guess mainstream, because I know you were still serving in and out, doing shows, putting other things together and stuff like that, still being creative and faithful. But you are more focused on, I know you mentioned there was a church plant. I know you mentioned about, you know, some family hardships you were going through, and you were just prioritizing everything. It sounds like the right way. So can you kind of like
for all reasons, that is the only reason you get a pass, because you was you was church.
But let me ask you though,
you were doing responsible things, so we're not gonna hold you too much on why you
was gone for so long. I went to the army. You know, I served in the military.
Thank you for your service. That's another one.
You get a pass. I was doing stuff. I wasn't just on the couch, you know what I'm saying, playing, you know, PS4, you know. But I mean, yeah, it was a lot going on, man. But like you mentioned, I was still serving. I was still, you know, we did 2 group albums. You know, I had tons of features. So I was putting in work.
You were still putting in work. Yeah.
You were serving. You were serving the country, bro. Like that's for real. That's serving.
Yo, hold on, hand class. What's good?
Seat in the ground, man. For real. What's bigger than that?
Yeah, respect. So tell me, like, was that hard? Like during that moment, were you wrestling with that desire to get back in the mix and like really go in? You know, and focus, you know, more of your energy on the rap thing, or were you just like, it was nothing for you? It was easy to disconnect and stay focused on what you were doing.
No, man, it wasn't easy at all, because as a creative, you know, that's always brewing. That's always turning inside of you to create something. And especially when I was away in the military, it was rough, man. Ask Brinson next time you talk to him. I used to send him like voice memos of like bootleg songs I made, man. I'm just like, I had like no way to record. I'm in Louisiana, just like looking crazy in the woods. I'm like, man, I just want to rap. If I can get out of this tent,
I call those Michael Jackson moments. You know what I'm saying? When you get the beat and you're in your head and you're like, ooh,
I got you like,
and you know what I'm saying? And you send it to somebody like Marrio every now and then will send me some lyrics. I'm like, yo, that sounds fire. But it's like, and he's like, you know what I'm gonna do with that.
I'm not even gonna.
You know what I'm gonna do with that though, right? I'm like, yeah, bro, that's gonna be fire.
That's what's messed up is that he's talking about the mastered version that I sent him, already recorded with the words and everything, and he's still saying, he's still mumbling. I
didn't even pay attention to the
you down bad. You down bad.
The beat is fire. You never want to hear the beat is fire. You never want to. No, the beat is fire.
Yo, for all y'all creators out there, if you show somebody your finished product,
did you not hear my 16 on there?
If you show something, like, yo, check out this track. I just got out the lab. Yo, check this out, and they hit you with, yo, that beat is fire.
Yo, can you send me the beat?
You lost. Go back to the drawing board.
I tell you, that hurt when your spouse do it. That's that hurt. You be like,
that hurts, man. That hurts.
Be like, I'll see you later. Bye.
You know how I made peace with that. I just said, that's because you can't hear with all the plugins.
Yeah, you can't hear what I hear.
The effects. That's what it is.
But in your heart,
I save my pride. I just be like, it's just because you're not artistic. You're not artistic.
You're not hearing it in the Shure mic. That's the problem.
And you go cry in the car.
You don't hear it with the preamp.
That's
the problem.
Then I go to the bathroom with Kleenex.
That's because your ears are off. That's what the problem is. Your ears. How much pride is that, bro? you're just in front of thousands of people booing you. That's because all y'all ears are messed up.
It's your fault.
It's your fault.
Y'all booing. It ain't me. Get them off the stage. Y'all ears are messed up.
Oh man, I'm sorry, brother. Man, I'm sorry. So you still were creating. You still were on the low, finding ways to record and be.
I was. But I started drawing, man. That's how bad I wanted to create.
Wow.
I picked up art, man. I did it when I was a kid, but
you a creative.
I just started like, I mean, look, I'm not bragging, but man, I'm not a great artist by any means, but I'm okay. So I used that as my outlet while I was away too, so I was, you don't want to get constipated with ideas and,
Yo, let me ask you,
did you draw yourself
I was
spitting?
just going to say, like, what was,
like, I'm not going to spit, I'm going to draw myself spitting.
Bro, I love comedy. I drew myself rapping.
He's like, if I can't rap, the cartoon version of me will rap.
He puts it on his Instagram. Still got it.
Still got it. It's a picture of him. Look at bars.
Nah, man. I draw comics, man. I'm a comic. I'm a nerd by heart, so anything Spider-Man, anything.
You watch anime?
Marvel. I love anime, bro.
Word.
Love anime, man. Yeah, man. Boruto, Naruto, My Hero Academia.
Fire. My Hero is fire.
My Hero is the one.
I'm mad right now because in Netflix they got it up, but they don't have the dubbed version. I want to hear, I can't follow along with the Japanese.
Nah, you gotta go Japanese, man.
I know, but it's just hard, man. They speak too fast, and it all sounds the same.
So much emotion in the
and they're happy. And I'm like, I don't know if they're mad, sad, glad. It sounds the same.
Dubs, they sound like they sleep, bro. I can't do the American dub. I need that emotion and that growl. I need that.
I know, man. I feel you because I feel the same way with original audio.
That's because they're actually doing the moves and stuff. Like those guys are actually doing the moves.
But even the little kid sounds like a grown man. He'll look at the dude and I'm like, oh shoot, ain't he 12?
Ain't he 12? But yeah, man, I'm in.
So let me ask you something though. With the drawing, how did that? What was the difference with the creative, like, I guess, appeasement, if you will, that you got from drawing and rapping, the comparison between the two? Like, how was that satisfaction that you received with drawing?
It's technically is really no comparison because it's two different things, but the way you get a feeling of accomplishment when you finish a song and, it's dope. And it's like, oh man, I like what I did. Everything came out like I thought it would. And just finishing something. So with the art, it was having an idea, putting it on paper and finishing it and saying, hey, I did that. So getting that sense of accomplishment.
Gotcha.
Is how it relates, I guess. But technically, it's way different.
Yeah, because with the rap thing, you get to put the words. That's like really analyzing the heart. I tell people all the time, like,
more emotional, it's more.
Your style is more like lyricist. Like, do you ever consider like dabbling a little bit more with the new kind of like melodic style that's being birthed in hip hop right now. It's kind of like mainly hip hop now is not spitters. It's singers now.
That's what I call rapping. You know, it's rapping and singing.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually I was thinking about that today because it's like you said, it's a vibe. We talked earlier before we went on. You know, Christian hip hop is turned to a vibe, and everything has its place. It is a vibe.
Yeah.
And so I was actually listening to beats, shopping beats today, just for another project, you know, that I want to start working on. But it's a temptation there to do the mainstream and jump in with the young crowd and the younger crowd, should I say? Like what's the new group, the Indie Tribe?
Yeah.
Hey, I heard when they're crazy. It went super.
What I love about this new sound though is that it's not that it's just that it's melodic, but if you're able to marry like the lyricism with a melody, you know what I'm saying, and be able to dance with the two. I feel like that's a dangerous combination.
I was just gonna say,
if you can do those two, man, like that's the goal for like every artist.
Because think about it, everybody loves R&B and loves singing and loves, you know, melody because it's easy to follow along, it's easy to remember, and then you know there's the side of hip hop that's kind of selective. Not everybody loves spitters and in that raw form of lyrics. But if you can do both of them, now you have two audiences that you get to merge together, and it's just like, it becomes limitless now.
Yeah, because the spit is going to respect the content, you know, and the people who want to vibe, the people who want to feel good with the melodies, they're going to get what they need to. So if you got both of those,
and mainstream, they're really starting to hone in on being able to spit and have that melody. You already have artists coming out, like we talked about recently with Joyner and
J. Cole.
J. Cole. They so far them two
melodies
are the best as far as being spitters and marrying it with a melody. So now I'm like, Indie Tribe is one of the first now that are really marrying the lyricism with the singing too.
Right.
So I'm interested to see where this is going.
I would say this. The reason why I was asking you about if there are some sort of similarities that you have with the art, you know, drawing and in the music, the writing and the rapping, is because you're like maybe the 6th or 7th rapper that I know that likes to draw and likes to do things like that. So I connect the dots because I used to draw too. I used to do a lot of drawing myself, and it's something about the mind. Not even just accomplishing it for me, at least it was more so. It's the same concept of a blank paper, and you're able to take what's here and put it on something. Or a blank beat. For me, the beat is my canvas. The beat is the same thing as a paper. It's the same thing. And I used to write. I used to write my lyrics. I used to write them. This is not a brag. This is just a fact.
Yeah, but that's a gem. That's a great way to look at it.
I mean, like I used to write my lyrics. Now I don't write them mainly because I'm working full time and I'm in between, you know, doing things and you know, got my kids and everything. I got things going on, but I found a more effective way to get my lyrics accidentally, sovereignly by God, thank the Lord, but accidentally because I was just vibing to the music and I wasn't able to box myself in and sit down with a pencil with my lines and write my bars out. I just had to express it on the fly. I didn't even know I was freestyling the entire thing. I would come back where I left off, freestyle the next 2 bars. I would come back where I left off, freestyle the next, and quickly go on my phone, record it real quick. Yo, da 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 da. I don't know how many times I was in the side of the office as the IT man in the middle of correcting somebody's laptop and then walking to the corner, saying rhymes and stuff. I was like, you know, recording. But anyway, so my thing is like when I did that, I learned. I was like, wait a minute. There's a different way to express this. You don't have to just put out these lines and then rap this bar and then rap this bar. There's another way to do this in a freestyle approach that kind of, hold up, what else can I do? And then I started messing with melody and I was like, wait a minute, there's another. So then what I realized is like, it's not about mumble rap or this style or that style or following trends. It's not about none of those things. You know what everybody's trying to do? You know what every single artist is trying to do? Every single one of them? They're trying to be the best. Every single one of them are trying to be the best. All of them. So if Drake is saying, I'm going to try singing, you know why he chose to try singing? Because he's trying to outbeat everybody else. Oh, no, not only can I spit at 16 and keep up with Lil Wayne and everybody else in the game, not only can I do that, but you know what? I'm going to drop an R&B track over here. He's just trying to be a master of his vocal cords, and he's trying to give you a variety of who he is. That's all it is. So like, as I started learning that, I was like, yo, and I started encouraging people, even lyricists and rappers, like, yo, I encourage you. Don't see it as a following a trend. Actually see it as an opportunity to enhance the skill that you already have.
It's about doing it. It's about the do. It's not about this is how you grow. And it should be an opportunity, just like with the art. Even though I don't draw a whole lot now, but that was a part of me, and I feel like God was using that to push me somewhere else. So I feel like as Christians, as creatives, we should always be doing something. We should always be, because that something may be a connection to, minister to somebody who needs it, or it could be God, trying to put a blessing in front of you for your. So you never know what God has in store for it. You just got to be doing something, man. So that's why when I was away from the rapping and stuff, I was doing something. I'm like, I got to put in work some kind of way. Because, for real, because everything that I can do that I feel like I'm good at, he gave it to me. And I know it. And that's one of the reasons I've been gone for so long, because I told, and it was one of the reasons I told Brinson, I was like, he hasn't said anything. God hasn't spoken anything. He hasn't said right anything. He hasn't given me, he's like, I can't do it unless he tells me to do it. And even now with The View From Here, I had no intentions of putting out an album, really. And then God said, he said, write. And I just started writing.
So was this within those 10 years, or was this project that's coming out within the last few months, or
This project was happened in months, actually. It happened probably in
this is fresh.
Maybe a 5 month span. This is super fresh. Between writing the first song and finishing up mastering, that's probably was 5 months.
So for our listeners, this is The View From Here. It's now, is it now available on godchasers.com?
Godchasers.com.
So you can cop it there.
Yeah, you can cop it early. And then Friday, it'll be on all platforms. Spotify, iTunes.
Before we let we play the track and all that, I wanted to ask you, since you've been gone and then going through this process of writing this project and now eventually putting it out, what would you say would be your biggest takeaway and lesson that you want to bring forward now, moving forward throughout everything? Like you serving in the military, the time away, church planting, now working on this album. And also too, this kind of reflects too, for new artists coming in, it will also be something for them too. That's why I'm asking. Right.
What I've I guess learned, because it's been a learning process. I haven't, like I said, we talked offline, and it wasn't just sitting around. I was doing some stuff, but I was also learning me and learning who I was and learning what I was good at, learning what my weaknesses were, not just as an artist, but as a person. So I guess when any new artists coming in, know who you are, and even in Christian industry, you don't know who you are and don't compromise it. And trust me, there's compromise going on in Christian hip hop, but you don't have to be a part of that, man. And me, when I was away for 10 years, I was disconnected from Christian hip hop, altogether. So I'm now learning, who's out, who's, doing it, who's good, who's hot, who's out here. But I just remain myself in the midst of, I feel like I just came back from a time machine, I'm all right, back in time. I'm okay, cool. but I'm still comfortable being myself, because I know if God told me to write it and he told me to do it, he's going to give me the know-how to make it. Bro. So yeah.
Love it. All right. So we're going to jump into this track, Crazy. This is the single off of your upcoming album, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you give us a little bit of a background behind Crazy before we jump into it?
Yeah, Crazy. It features Brinson and Big Phil, two of my brothers, and Duval.
And shout out to Brinson. We love you, brother.
I'm kidding.
This is some bearded guy who's
we love you, Brinson. Can't wait to have you back on, bro.
But yeah, man, this song was just I dealt with a lot when I was away. And of course, you hear stories about military service and, PTSD, depression, anxiety, come back with all these things. And I came back with some of that, and it was, I learned how to cope with it, and I made a joke out of it. And I always tell God, like, without you, I would be freaking crazy.
Wow.
Like, you feel it bubbling, not in a bad way, but it's just like, yo, I really want to tell people what I think about them. Or I be wanting to, say something. Yeah. I'm like, God, well, if it wasn't for you, I'd be crazy. Like, so it's just saying, God, your love for me just inspires me just to be a better me. So, yeah.
Fire. This is CStriaght crazy. Hey, listen, brother, I definitely want to build with you after this, man.
Sure, man. Yeah.
Kindred spirit. All right.
Yes, sir.
Kindred spirit. I love you, brother, man. It was an honor to have you on. Grace and peace, bro.
Yes, sir.
Are y'all gonna trade drawings?
Stop. Here is CStriaght crazy featuring Brinson.
Show you my drawings.
Peace.
I like this one. I'm that new danger, yes Lord, that new ranger. No morphine, endorphin, I bruise angels. Leave corpses, of course the flesh strangle. Prayer closet, the coffin that I came from. God's favorite, resurrect like Thriller. Full metal flex, was I can resurrect Dilla. Magilla, while y'all go hard, I go Rilla. From shore to river, Christ adore delivers. Consider this warning, life preserving informant. Paladin forever, battle sin till it's dormant. Coreless, I still trail God like a tow truck. XG, I got still tread on the Cobra, yeah. I move words like a Ouija board, yeah. I got drip, no squeegee for it, yeah. I got clips if you need them, boy. See, I'm a trip, that's why I need you, Lord. Straight.
Love you, yes, I love you. Without you, Lord, I'd be crazy for sure. Love you, yes, I love you. Created for your glory, I was made, yeah, for you. That's why I'm in need of you. That's why I was made for you. That's why I'm in need of you. I'm that new 007 headed for heaven. Bond servant, no leaven, style of a reverend. The gap closed from the lamb floor to Evans. No sitcom, I drop bombs all on your headrest. I'm locked net, suplex, this is a cage match. Yeah, tap the flesh out till he come back. And this is all submission. Speak the word with conviction. I swing the sword like a cat from Thundera. Where your heart is, that's where your treasure. And if you're falling far, God will come and fetch you. Send an angel, send a sign, he'll bless you. This ain't a lecture, this is life in activation. Elevate you, celebrate you to a brand new creation. It's safe to say it's Christ I'm trying to mimic. If death couldn't beat him, then what's a pandemic? Hey. Love you, yes I love you. Without you, Lord, I'd be crazy for sure. Love you, yes I love you. Created for your glory, I was made, yeah, for you. That's why I'm in need of you. That's why I was made for you. That's why I'm in need